The government should give £10,000 to every citizen under 55. That's the central recommendation in a report published today by the Royal Society. It says the money could come from a sovereign wealth fund. The organisation claims it would be one way of compensating workers for the way jobs are changing, particularly because automation is increasingly likely to replace many jobs over the next 10 to 20 years. Let's speak now to Anne-Marie Imafidon, who's a commissioner on the Future of Work Commission. It was set up by the International Labour Organization to draw up ideas about how we can shape the future of work for the benefit of society. Anne-Marie, thank you very much for coming in. Who'd say no to £10,000, but why would it be a good idea? What good would it really do?
So the idea behind it is that there's going to be a lot of displacement and a lot of people having to change jobs, which is their main source of income, because of automation, because of robots and because of artificial intelligence creeping in on our roles and the jobs that we do today. So the idea is that the £10,000 will almost supplement the loss of earnings that might come as a part of that, or a part of the way that jobs are changing. And so that's the idea behind having that universal basic income. That's what we're calling it.
The Royal Society says that the payments wouldn't be means tested. You'd only have to demonstrate how you'd use that money. What would be a good use of a £10,000 windfall like that? So
as we outlined in the report, actually, that the Future of Work Commission released at the end of last year, things like skills should be the top of the billing for the use of that money. It's no longer that you sign up for a job and you do that job for life. Now it's something where you do have to constantly be learning, and lifelong learning is something we'll need to do as technology advances and helps us do more of our roles. So that should definitely be top of the list. But also supplementing your income whilst that transition phase is happening. We've heard a lot about disruptions and the bots coming to take our jobs entirely. So this is to help ease that transition period. Otherwise it will be quite bumpy.
It's not going to go very far though, is it? £10,000?
Well, this is the question. It doesn't go far, and I don't think it's meant to completely, pay you entirely for the time that you might not be working anymore. But it's definitely a help in the right direction. The other thing is it's slightly more feasible. I think the higher the levels of basic income, the more taxation and the less feasible it's going to be able to give everyone that amount of money.
You're also involved, I believe, in encouraging women, young girls and women into science. How important is that going to be in the future if we've got to compete with automation?
It's going to be incredibly important. All the automation and a lot of technology that's being built now is being built by one type of person, which means that there's a skew on the nature of technology and the way that we're taking advantage of it. So it's very important that we can have balanced innovation, and that's why we need to have, balanced agendas, a balance of people from different backgrounds feeding into those technologies so that they're used for all and they're innovating for all rather than just a small group.
How divisive, though, might a £10,000 payment be in different parts of the country? It's worth more, and also between generations where there's a perception of a wealth gap.
So it will be incredibly divisive. As they outlined in the report, there is a little bit of a cliff because they suggest up until 55. And of course, the pension age is at 67, so there is a bit of a gap there as well. So that's going to be incredibly divisive and will be very tricky to get around. How do you help people in that transitionary phase? But I think the biggest question is, where is the money going to come from, and how do you prioritise that £10,000 over where cuts are inevitably come from in other parts of the public purse?
Yes, I mean, so is this just fantastical at the moment? It's never going to be a policy, is it?
So we think it will eventually become a policy. It is being tested in different countries around the world, and it is something we're talking about, as humankind, universal basic income. I think it's something that, all these things are about adoption and cultural fit, and it's something that we might eventually come round to thinking might be a good idea.
Anne-Marie Imafidon from the Future of Work Commission. Thank you.